That intro was long.
That was an anticipation.
I know. I didn't. I was like, it's gonna turn off at any time, and we're gonna be live.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. Not a lot. I just went through a fucking bunch of bullshit with work. It was like working like crazy. And then now it's not, so I'm loving that part.
You love the not working part?
Yeah. Cause I still get paid. Like I'm on salary, so I'm gonna take that as a huge win.
Yeah. What's not to love about that?
Right. And like when I'm like working, it's just like I don't produce a lot because I'm just so burnt out. Like I work 12, 14 hours a day, and at the end of the day when I get home, I like shit, shower, and then eat, and I'm toast basically. So
yeah, I don't know what that's like. I haven't had a job.
fuck it, dude. Working is overrated.
It's stupid.
It really is.
I don't know why.
I'm not a fan of it.
I don't know why anyone would want to do that.
I mean, if I found a job that I loved and made money doing something I really liked, then I could probably be like, oh yeah, working is tight. But I don't really have that.
What would it be other than music?
Man, like in my head, I had this idea a little while ago, a couple years ago, of starting a dog walking business or something.
Yeah.
I would love to do that because, like, honestly, when I take my dog to like this big dog park, it's got like hiking trails and stuff, but it's still like a dog park. I always have a good time, and I always see like people there with like 10 dogs at a time, and they're just like walking the dogs, and I just go like, I envy you. Like that is a good day every day.
I can't think of a more easier company to start than a dog walking business.
Yeah, I mean, like
it takes no overhead at all. Overhead.
That's right. I mean, I think the hard part would be like just the trust within the pack of like being, especially going in like an off leash area or something.
Yeah.
Like making sure that you have the skills to like be able to navigate the dog so they're not like running away or whatever, right? Like
I just downloaded every season of the Dog Whisperer.
Cesar Milan?
Yeah.
Nice.
He's the best, man. He's the man. Speaking of dogs, hold on a second.
Yeah.
The dog is eating Tums. Eric, can you grab him? My dog is eating the Tums off the coffee table.
Oh, nice. Just some heartburn going on.
He will eat anything, man. Like he loves plastic.
Yeah, Lola went through a phase when I first got her, when she, like, I remember one time I came home and she ate like a stamp pad, the ink part, and she was just covered. She was covered in blue all the way down. She's eating some crazy things. She ate one of my prescriptions one time, like a whole bottle of it. I had to take her to the vet. It was pretty crazy, but she was fine.
Whoa.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Now she's chilled on the chewing. It's just more like toys and stuff, which is,
yeah, we got to get him more toys. Like we got him a couple, and then we got him a Chuck It to like, because I have a property like across the street. I have this like acre of land. And so I thought we took him over there to play with the Chuck It, and I threw it one time and he just took off.
Yeah, Lola's not much for catch. Like or fetch, I guess. Like she's more of a, I'll chase the ball to where it goes, and then I'll just go and smell things and won't bring it back. But she loves to go and chase it.
Yeah, she likes to chase, not the bringing it back part.
Yeah.
And like we got all sorts of crazy animals out here too. Like he's already killed like a muskrat.
Dang, little hunter dog.
We got to clean up like a muskrat. You ever seen a muskrat?
I don't think I've ever seen a muskrat.
He's like a happy little otter. It's like an otter.
Okay.
And I seen one walking down the street one day, and he was like smiling, like he looked so happy, and then he was dead in my backyard.
Well, I mean, hopefully he had a good life.
Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? But it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird here with the animals. I'm not used to it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm dying to know what you got going on here with the right here. Boom.
Okay, yeah.
With what's going on here on number 2 on this EQ8.
Oh man, okay. So I've been having a lot of fun messing around with some simple modulation,
Yeah,
and basically a lot of it is to do with the sub work. I've been just trying to do a lot of weird sub shit,
yeah,
and I've switched to operator from Serum just to get to know operator, which has been super fun.
yeah.
And so yeah, this EQ is going to do some weird modulation, basically just like fucking with some frequencies. It's just moving around to help boost some frequencies in certain situations and give some modulation and movement.
That's sick. I like that a lot. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's something that I've been trying a little bit with, like, and just doing simple things like fucking with the transposition. Honestly, I could have filled
Yeah,
that out a little bit more, but
that's
and
okay.
then pitch envelope, I'm moving, just like moving as much as I can, the frequency, the level, to help give that like feeling of things moving. I mean, obviously that's what you want to do so things aren't so stagnant, but yeah,
Well,
then
one thing like, I was listening to this guy. He was talking about like, why does bass have to be mono? It can be a little stereo, and like I was playing around with that, and like just panning. Then as well, you can add panning to your movement.
Yeah,
And because not a lot of people fuck with panning.
yeah, no, I think I did a little bit on. I did on a different project, but yeah, no, it's a sweet effect to give a lot of different. I did do some panning here on this thing, but it's a sweet way to give some different modulation and movement than just like actually modulating, like
I see you were playing around with the flanger there too. What do you got flanging?
just a little sound here.
Nice, nice.
So yeah, like I don't know, I've been just trying to keep things really simple lately, and like almost minimal channels, and just see what I can get out of the minimalist that I can do, and still keeping things interesting and moving a lot. So I mean, I guess I could play this whole thing from the beginning a little bit.
Sure. That's
Yeah,
sick.
pretty simple. I mean, this is something I whipped up this morning in like 20 minutes, which has been fun. I've also been kind of doing that the last little bit, is just every day just like making a little 16 bar loop, 8 bar loop, just fucking around, like trying to keep motivated in the studio and keep the creativeness flowing.
Yeah.
That's something I always never really did. Like I read The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, and that sparked a lot of crazy ideas in my head. I mean, a lot of the stuff in the book is like is instilled in producing, and you hear that from everyone all over, but I don't know what it was about reading that book. It just clicked with a lot of things,
Yeah.
and I've just been trying to implement a lot of the stuff that I took in from that book.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is
Well,
one of them, just
I
getting
think,
up, producing for 10, 15 minutes, an hour, whatever, like wherever it goes, right?
yeah, it doesn't have to go anywhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that was a huge part of like my problem before when I first started producing. And I would always get so like burnt out or hit a like a writer's block or whatever, because I'd always focus on writing like my sessions where I need to go and make a track.
Yeah.
Like I need to create a song in this. And when I didn't, I got discouraged and I was like, fuck, I suck.
Yeah.
I'm giving up, or throwing in the towel, or taking a break, or whatever.
Yeah.
And now when I look at a session, it's just like, go in and do whatever.
Just have fun.
Literally, just have fun. Even if
Yeah.
I just use samples and I make a loop, or if I'm just like a session and doing a sound design. I know it sounds so like, basic to some people, but that's not something I implemented in my workflow at all. And it was terrible for my workflow. And it's been such a game changer, just going in and, like taking a simple bass and like trying different weird effects on it. And some of it just sounds like shit, like sometimes you just work on something and it's just like garbage. Like I had all these things on here at one point, and it does sound good, it doesn't, then you take away a few things and you're like, okay, well there it is, or whatever, right? Like, and
Well,
then all
yeah,
of a sudden
that's one thing
you
I
can,
noticed too with like people is they don't do what I got the term from Dead Mouse, which is just sonic exploration, and
yeah,
like seeing what you can do with certain things and what certain things do to the sound and how it changes it. Like I fell in love like just recently with mod effects. Like I love chorus, ensemble, flanger, a phaser. Those like are the coolest fucking effects I think that you can get nowadays. Like
yeah,
they're
they are all
and they've been
super
around
good.
forever. And like ensemble, like I think Hero Bus must use ensemble quite a bit because like I can get like a fucking metallic bass sound in like 10 seconds with ensemble.
Yeah, yeah, choruses are great for that, or corpus even are great for getting some metallic sounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then the
The
flanger,
spectral
like
resonators and stuff too are really sick.
I love setting the like the real low flanger and like kilohertz has a really good flanger, and but you just hit the rate really low, and fuck, it just sounds so sick.
Yeah, I love that. Just fucking around with something and then all of a sudden like it just something magic happens. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's either gonna be garbage or magic. That's the thing.
It is. What's going on here?
Especially like with how I'm doing things, like I'm doing, working off of randomness is
Yeah.
like I can have a session is either going to be really fucking good or it's going to be really fucking bad.
Yeah, I get that for
There's
sure.
there's like no in between when it comes to working with randomness. It just is like that sucks, and I wasted 2 hours. But
Yeah, but it's fun, that's the process of like learning almost. And that's like especially when I first started producing with you, I'd come over and just like ask some of the craziest things, or just like,
yeah,
we try just random shit. And like for
yeah.
so long, I was just like always trying to like stick to a T, or, do the norm or whatever. And like now I'm kind of going back to just fucking with shit. And
Well,
it's been a lot of fun.
I think that that's the way to do it, man. Because honestly, like we know people that we've produced with, and that we knew back in Calgary, where it's like they're so to the T that you have to do it this way and have to do it that way, and I think that
Mhm.
just absolutely strips all the fun out of what you're trying to do.
It does a lot, and I mean, like, and it instilled in me a little bit, which I let it happen, and I did it myself, where I was like, okay, I gotta follow these guidelines, and things got stagnant for me. It was another thing that was like, limiting my creativity is just like, not pushing the boundaries and not trying random shit and doing weird shit.
Yeah, you know who doesn't do that kind of shit is the producers that are making really interesting music. Like if
I
you're
agree.
if you want to make the same track over and over and over again, then you should stick to a template and just do that. But if you want to make unique sounds and like have your own sound, then that's the only way of doing it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And I think even having your own unique sound can become stagnant after a while too, right? Like
I agree with that. There are some people over the years, even like, I think that was a bigger thing, like, even 5-10 years ago, like people were like really honing in on trying to have their sound, but now everyone like can have that sound. They just go to a YouTube video or whatever, right? Like I like I find that more people I'm like drawn to is like the way that their flow is, or the way that their mix down is, or the way that they're like, I guess that is a part of their sound, but
yeah.
just the whole body of it, not just like, okay, they always have this kind of synth in it or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that was a thing a while back for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. And now that would just get boring. I think is just trying to make that one sound good is
Hmm.
would be obnoxious after a while.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I was gonna show you my new template.
Let's see it.
Okay, hold on. Let me just start. I'm gonna start a new project here, and then I'll go like this. Yeah. Okay, so this is my new template. The thing that makes this template awesome is this channel right here, shortcuts. This is Shortcut Buddy, and it's a Max Relive device. And so I've set up all these shortcuts. You can have 64, and it's just whatever you want to put on your keyboard. So if I want to put in a new synth that I've made, I can go like this, 3 on the numpad. Boom, there it is right there. And then if I want to add modulators, I can go 1 over here, and there's my modulators.
Holy.
And then I can go like this and add effects. So there's like a fucking there's a fucking channel like ready to rock, right? And then I can go like this and just I'll just go like that. And so this has got the fucking ensemble on it.
I don't think I can hear anything.
You can't hear anything?
I don't think so.
Oh shit. Let me see here. I gotta go like this, I think. Let me fix this here. Yeah, it says my output is the volt 1. That should be it. But let me just double check here. Shit. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, the sound on it is irrelevant, right? I'm just showing that.
Yeah.
But this shortcut buddy, you can get it on the Max for Live website or whatever. Is the bomb. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's super crazy to be able just to whip that up like that. I've thought about trying to make templates, but I didn't have anything like that in mind. Honestly, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's because I don't like templates. I don't like using them.
Sure.
It's because it puts me in a box, and that's when I get fucked up. But it's putting this on a return down here, and then I also have my free sound. This is a sick Max for Live device too. This free sound. It goes to freesound.org and downloads free samples.
Tight.
That's pretty good. And then having this on there. So all these devices I've made, they're all something that I like. They're not just stock Ableton devices, because you have to make it into a group. You have to group the object before you can put it into sound the shortcut buddy. So I did added some tweaks and stuff like that to it as well. And another thing that's really cool is the this guy here, the Swiss Army meter. I like this one a lot.
What is that?
Same guy. It's just a meter that is, but it does it in LUFS, so it's like a little bit easier to
the loudness meter.
Yeah, and then there's he makes another one. I think it's the same guy that makes the Volume Buddy. It's called, and Volume Buddy will like, if you put in an effect that affects the volume that you didn't intend to affect the volume, it'll correct it automatically for you.
Crazy.
So like distortion and saturation and stuff like that, it'll automatically put that back to where it was before that effect.
That's super sick.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. I've been playing around with a lot of these Max. I had like a bunch of Max for Live devices that I never worked on. I never did anything with them, and I put them in this Explore group here.
Yeah.
And then as I liked them or I didn't, I added them to go to, or just kind of took them off a list.
Yeah.
And now I have all these like sick Max for Live devices that I just kind of been sitting on, not using, just because I didn't take the time to explore them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's sick. That's something I need to dive into a little more, is some Max for Live stuff. I have a few, but only like 3 or 4.
Oh, it's so good. Like these are all my main Max for Live devices that I use here now in different ways. Like this NTPD one, this one's sick because you can add notes to the channel. Like you can add any notes you need to right here. And then another one that's good is this circle of fifths. I don't know if you know much about music theory, but this is the bomb. Like I think the window opened on my other screen though. Where'd it go? Yeah, it did. So this will teach you the circle of fifths, which like any big song in like history ever, they use the circle of fifths, and it's how to write your chord progressions. And so this I had a hard time learning, but this like does it for you. It just shows you how it works and all that, and it's like it's been awesome. Like and then all the classics. This Slink filter, have you seen this one? It's not made by Slink, by the way, but it's based on water, this filter. So if you multiply it and then you ripple it, look at that.
You just map it to something.
You can, yeah. Or if you just like, it'll sit and flow like that. It has its own modulation built in too, right here.
Holy crap!
You can go like this.
That is tight.
Yeah, so like it's pretty cool, and it like sounds really fun.
Ooh. Now that is super sick.
Yeah, so you can like really get some cool sounds out of that. That's been one of my favorites
Wow.
lately. Yeah. And that comes with like a whole suite of stuff. But the Slink MIDI is really cool too. So it'll like the way that it arps, like makes an arp, is crazy. Like it's stuff you've never heard before. It's really cool. And then yeah, there's all sorts. I should do a whole like video on Max for Live devices.
You could. You should.
Yeah, I love Max for Live. It's the best part of Ableton, I think.
Yeah, I barely mess with it. Like seeing these things should go to show that I need to get on that.
Yeah, you do for sure, man. Like it's honestly it is like I used to think, well, I used to say like the best part about Ableton was the would have been the like racking, that you can rack things up. And I still think that's great, but I think Ableton Live, like nothing touches it, man.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think there's anything close to Ableton Live anywhere else.
12's coming out this year, I think, right?
It's supposed to be soon.
I was listening to the Ableton podcast with I forget the guy's name, but they were talking about it. It sounds and looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, what are you most excited for?
The I don't know what do you call it, but the chord progression, like
yeah,
the MIDI stuff.
Oh, the MIDI in Ableton has been lacking for some time. That they've needed to rejuvenate that, and they've totally rejuvenated that. It's like
Yeah.
I'm excited for the new user interface, to be honest.
Yeah,
like,
it looks pretty sweet too.
It's literally never been changed ever. So for like it to be like 20 years later and for them to do something different is like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to try. I mean, you can always roll it back if it don't work, but I think it's good to try something new. Yeah.
And I think that the sample library that looks sick too. Like how you can tag everything and then just finding shit will be so much faster.
Yeah.
Like
that's something I need to work on. Is my library is just always such a mess. Like the only reason it goes a little bit flowy is because I know where it is, but if I had it categorized better, it would definitely help.
These collections on the side, I don't know if anyone uses these other than me. These collections on the side here are sick. So you can just like go into your samples or whatever and right click on something, even a folder, and you can assign it to that color.
That's tight. Yeah,
and then when you go up here, you can just
click
there on it. There it is. Boom.
Yeah, that's some things that I definitely should spend some time on, especially if I'm in a rut or I'm just not feeling super creative. Just have that organization, so then workflow is faster and more organized.
Well, yeah, that's one thing like that Il Gates talks about is like having sessions where you're like doing the office work. He didn't call it office work, but that's kind of what I call it, the administration, right? And it's like if you can sit there and like organize your library or whatever, like clear out space or whatever it is, that's still a win at the end of the day, and you feel more motivated to come back and do it. So if you're not feeling super creative and you can't get a flow going, just doing these little tasks like that goes a long way, right? Because then you get excited about, oh well, fuck. No, or like what I did with my Max for Live devices, it got me excited again to be like, oh fuck, I gotta check out that.
Come across something that you haven't seen in a while or heard in a while, and you're like, oh man, I gotta try that out, or use that.
Yeah, man, you're like, oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that, and then you get excited about it, like this Slink MIDI thing, man. It's so cool that I just like can't wait to like write chord progressions and shit.
I'm definitely gonna go in for some Max for Live after this.
Yeah, no, it's awesome, and I've been learning.
I think you sent me some goodies too.
I did. Let's not tell everybody that one though.
Oh yeah, I mean, you heard nothing.
I think But I was gonna show you this too because you've been fucking around with Vizzy, right? How do you like it?
Oh yeah.
It's time consuming.
You know what? The first time I told you about that, I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. I think I put it on 1080p and my computer was just like lagging. I made that video and I couldn't even see it. It was just like gurk, gurk,
Yeah.
gurk. I was like, okay, well, I'll just pick these settings and hope it works. And then the second time I used it, it was really cool. I put it down to like 480 or something, and
Yeah.
it ran super easy and super clean. I like it. It's sweet. It's sweet that it's
cool.
free.
It's
And
awesome.
there's a lot to pick from, and yeah, well, I'll be using it for all the videos for sure.
Good. Yeah. Like it's great that it's free. I love it. And so make sure you always like give a shout out to them or whatever, like they say. They always want a shout out or whatever on the if you share it on YouTube and shit.
Yeah, I put it in the video description.
Yeah. And then so yeah, this though is can you see that now? What's going on here? I should have another window over here though. Hold up. Where'd that go? Oh man. So Max for Live also has a thing called Vizzy built into it. And it's like, there we go. You can see that now, right?
Yep.
So in here, you can go and along the side here, if you download the library, you can go Vizzy. And this is just like a bunch of pre-made, you don't have to understand Max for Live or programming or any of that shit. Pre-made visualizer effects and stuff like that. And it's I lost the window again. Fuck. But anyway, check that out too, man. Like it's cool. You don't have to understand Max for Live at all to make it work.
So what is it making visuals or what?
Yeah. So what you'll do is you can have audio come in here. I'll make this window bigger here. You can have audio come in. I just delete all this shit. And then I'll go new object plug in. So this is how Max for Live uses audio. That's your audio coming in. And then you can go to Vizzy and do like just quickly, I'll do like there's this movie player, for example, and that's your movie player. And so then you can send that movie signal, the video signal out here on the bottom to all these different effects that they have in Vizzy, like transform. You can have like a kaleidoscope, a fucking fractalizer, and you just chuck that onto here and go like this, boom, and that now will fractalize that video. And then you can go here and go to the output, for example, and just go viewer, and then that video goes into the viewer, boom, and then your affected video will show there, which I do have an example if you give me 1 second here. So
yeah, let's see it in action.
It's like Vizzy, like the online, that's like kind of similar to that, but it's definitely more intense. Like it's got a lot of features to it, and it's overwhelming too. But when you use Vizzy, it's like super straightforward. So you just plug that in, and then you can see the viewer there at the bottom.
Yep.
Make that a little bigger here. So that's being fractalized by this effect here. And if I just go like this, I can go add different effects.
Oh, crazy.
Fuck with the effect here.
You could make your own like visuals for a set too, I guess, like that.
You
too,
could.
right?
You could. So like you can actually bring in audio and through the plugin device here. And then you could take, there's like a control, I think it's called, or there's I think it's called MIDI. No, it's audio to something, audio to Vizzy. So then you bring your audio in through here, and that'll change that to Vizzy control. So then you can put this in like over here, for example, and now that'll automatically affect this horizontal thing with the audio. And so you can really kind of fuck around with that. And like usually with that kind of stuff in Max for Live would take like lots of different little objects and programming knowledge and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's crazy. You could like, I wonder if you could map all the visuals for all your songs, or if that's how some people are doing it like that.
Yeah, you could. So Vizzy works better, I find, with MIDI. So like when it's detecting audio, it's a little tough because it's like either way too loud or way too quiet.
Okay.
And then you got to split it up too, right? So you can have like the bass control this and the higher control this. But if you have MIDI, it's super duper easy. because it'll just
Cool.
take that MIDI and change it to the Visi control language or whatever, and it's a lot easier to use that way. And you can you control so many different things within it, all with audio or MIDI. So it's like a game changer.
That's super cool. That's super cool.
Yeah. And you could do a whole set that way if you wanted to, for sure. Easily, man. And you can control it with a MIDI controller or anything like that. Like it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that's super rad. You're a wizard. You're a wizard, Harry.
I only know like that's real basic shit for that world.
That's still super cool to be, you just fuck around with. Even
there's also a plugin that I got on sale. It was like it's a VS, VS, and it's like a VST, and so you can just throw it in there, and it's got all these different kind of built-in visualizers that you can put in and then control it with audio or MIDI as well.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's pretty
yeah.
sweet. Yeah, but that world is like so foreign to me. I'm just kind of breaking the ice with it.
Well, I mean, in this day and age, like as a producer, you kind of have to wear all hats almost, so it's good to kind of be dabbling in that stuff, because
I was thinking about that today, man. Fuck, you really do have to wear all hats.
Yeah, it's crazy. You got to be the promoter, you got to be the graphic designer, the visualizer, like doing all that stuff. Or I mean, if you're not, I mean, it's extra tough for you as a producer trying to expose and show off your tunes and stuff, right?
Yeah, it really is. It's crazy. Like back in the day, it was never like that, right? It was like you had whole teams of people to do that kind of shit for you.
Yeah.
I was gonna try. I think I may have got my audio working. I was just gonna let this monstrous fucking set that I have going.
Oh, let's go.
So let's check it out. I don't know if let's see if you can hear this. No. Shitty, eh? I don't know what I did wrong to deserve this,
Oh shit.
I'm a good person. I don't know what I
did. What happened, universe? Why you got to be picking on Chris like this?
I know, right? No, I had it working before. I just I got to get my settings figured out.
Well, man, think how long it took me to figure it out. I had to get the Focusrite team to come onto my computer from however they do it. He just like all of a sudden he was moving my mouse and he's like, "Oh yeah, here you go."
Really?
Yeah, because I messaged him like, yeah, he did. And I was like, I was getting very discouraged because all the YouTube videos are like, you got to have this update or this thing or this extra VST, and I was like, man, I just want to use this sound card to do this, and he's like, oh yeah, that's no problem, just go on this site and log in and I'll hop in and
but it is that hard for some reason. Like it's routing audio with inside of your own computer is so difficult for some reason sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm not very good at that stuff, and I can get very frustrated when I feel like I don't know anything about anything and I'm trying to learn it at first. I'm just like, screw this, throw my hands away at it. I don't want to do it.
I get it. I get that for sure, man. It's it can be a nightmare, and it seems like such a simple thing.
It should be, right?
Yeah, I should just.
And even the guy on Focusrite, he's like, it's a little tricky. It's not just as simple as something that I could type out. That's why he was like, oh, let's sign on to this thing and I'll just do it for you. And then he just saved all the presets in my controller panel or whatever for Focusrite.
Nice. That's awesome, actually. That's good customer service.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with it because I told them, I was like, I'm probably going to buy a new sound card because that's why I bought the 4i4 is because it said that it had a loop back feature to be able to do all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, where is it? Like I see the button, I click the button. It's not that one. No, you got to route it inside of that. And you got to route it in Ableton, and you got to, route it here and route it there. But
yeah, see, and I've been using just loopback, like it's called loopback.
Yeah, when I had that Mac, I was using that too, and it worked great.
Yeah. And I just got to figure out my settings now. That's why it's not working for me, but I'll have it for the next one.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I mean, yeah, I think we cover quite a bit. I mean, what's
Yeah,
going on with you in the future? What's coming up for Unnecessary Roughness? What's the goods?
I got a track. I put 2 tracks up that I'm gonna have come out. So March 14th, my birthday, I got a track coming out.
Let's go.
And then I got February 5th. I got another one coming out.
Perfect. That sounds beautiful.
And then I got this track. I'm pretty much done as of today that I'm gonna put on to Discord or DistroKid tonight. So I just gotta
Heck
finish.
yeah.
I
Heck
gotta finish
yeah.
some.
Bass Daddy's back. Let's go.
I'm excited. I'm excited. The new music I think is really good. It's different. It's it's still my style, but it's different as well. And I've
It's evolved, I think, a little bit too, right?
yeah, it's evolved. I think I've sent it to a couple of the like diehards that I like, love my music. There's a couple of them out there apparently, and I usually talk to them and have become kind of friends with them over time. And I've sent it off to them as well to spot check and make sure it's all good and everyone loves it. So
That's a vibe, dude. I'm excited. I can't wait for
yeah.
everyone to hear it.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna have pre-orders, but I'm gonna be sneak peeking them on TikTok and shit like that real quick here.
Yeah. Be sure to check out the socials, the Bass Therapy socials, and
Yeah.
stay up to date.
There's a QR code below, and the QR code is all our socials.
Oh, look at that. We on the thing. Heck yeah,
Absolutely,
buddy.
brother. All right, man. Well, let's do this more often.
Yes, sounds good, man.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Peace.
Peace.